Hey, I was just thinking about the heart of a mom this morning and how much the heart of the mom gives. And I was thinking about kind of my old biology days. I don't know if you can remember some of your old biology days too, but I was remembering about the human heart, and I was thinking it's so much like the heart of a mom in the way that it beats, the way it carries blood into every cell in your body. And you know, there's a lot of research that I've read about that shows that the heart not only carries blood out to every cell in your body, including every cell in your brain, but there's also a lot of emotional control and a whole lot of just like, you know, healing skills and more than just the blood. But when you think about the heart of a mom as it beats, you know, and pours oxygen and life into every cell in your body, moms, I think about the mom that's always giving. And if there's ever a position in any place in life that just seems to be always giving out, it's a mom. From the time a mom wakes up, from the time you put your foot on the carpet in the morning until the time you finally wear your head down on the pillow at night, the mom's always giving. And so it is with the heart, the human heart. You know, the heart is constantly beating. And the heart is constantly taking carbon dioxide out of the system, you know, of a human being and pouring oxygen back into the system. And, you know, the carbon dioxide, Mom, in this little bit of a metaphor we're going to talk about this morning that I hope will be super helpful to you, is that, you know, the carbon dioxide in a mom is just the stress from the job and the fear that goes along with, you know, we used to have a little sign in our little house that says one tragedy with one child is normal every day, two tragedies, two child, three with three, and so on. And it's almost like there's a spilled glass of milk, you know, every meal somewhere, or some emotional glass of milk spilling, you know, all day long. And then just worry of just what might be and the bad things that might happen. And then there's the onslaught of just social media, you know, that goes on all the time, and television, and just constantly bringing, you know, reason for fear and reason for stress and reason for worry. But the great thing about the heart is that the heart transfers all that carbon dioxide. As the carbon dioxide comes into the heart, you know, through the right atrium and then down to the right ventricle and then up into the pulmonary arteries, which puts the carbon dioxide in the lungs. And that's where grace and mercy take over. And that's where the transformation takes place. And so when a mom is able to live in the knowledge of the grace and mercy of Jesus, there's just constantly, you know, His mercies are new every morning. As a dad, you know, I was very involved with the kids. I always felt like a failure. You know, there was always a red mark on my, you know, my report card I'd give myself when I'd look in the mirror. But fortunately for grace and mercy, you know, all our past mistakes and our constant mistakes and our angst and our worry and our fear and all these different sinful thoughts that hit us, that they're completely, you know, washed out. And then oxygen fills our blood. Oxygen fills our mind and our heart. And then it pours the oxygen back into the heart. And yes, all over the body, through the aortic trunk, you know, the oxygen just starts flying through the cells in the body. But the oxygen also keeps the heart alive through four main arteries. And one of the arteries that keeps the heart of a mom alive is the artery of constant communication with God. One time that artery was blocked in me, and they had to rush me to the hospital, and I had open heart surgery because when that artery is blocked, the heart dies. And so it is in the heart of a mom. If that artery of prayer, and you know, for me, it happens when you dive into a Psalms. You just take any Psalms, Mom. I recommend Psalms 139, or maybe the old Psalms 23. I've been doing Psalms 32, 33, and 34 lately. But when you're on the treadmill, when you're driving the kid to soccer, when you're driving to work, or you just have one moment just to sit there, or maybe even for me, it's when I lay on the pillow at night, sometimes wearily after a hard day of work and family. I just go in and I start meditating on one of those Psalms. And then as I memorize another verse every day, or maybe 2 or 3, I think about it throughout the day. In the middle of my day, I think about my soul make its boast in the Lord. There will be praise and worship in my heart all day long, David said. God, you know me when I rise up and when I lay down. You understand my thoughts from afar. You're intimately acquainted with all my ways. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. And so as you take these verses and you think about them throughout the day, that oxygen just oozes through the heart. It keeps the heart beating in the heart, pushing that grace and mercy out to the kids in your life. And then there's the artery of community, the artery of fellowship. Just a quick phone call to that woman in your life that's your encourager, your Barnabas. You got to have at least one good Barnabas in your life, and one that you're encouraging too, because when you're a Barnabas to somebody else, you're actually getting more encouragement back than you're giving. And perhaps the fellowship of a few moms around you that you maybe can grab, coffee with once a week, or, get a Zoom call going. That's what we do around here. We get Zoom calls going with discipleship, pouring scripture into others. That's the best part of community ever. And then there's the artery of worship that fills the heart. And worship and praise throughout the day, that brings the fear of God. Because the fear of God, as you walk, as you stand in the awe and reverence of God, the heart stays healthy. And the final artery that moms are filled with, moms are filled with, is the artery of humility. As C.S. Lewis once said, humility is not thinking less of yourself. It's thinking of yourself less. It's avoiding the mirror and avoiding the mirror of social media, comparing, yourself to others and the way you dress and, body features and all that kind of stuff that's so alluring through, clothing commercials on television and diet commercials and all that stuff that just wears you out. But humility is actually not dialing in to those self-thoughts that are tempting all day long. And so, as you keep the heart of a mom healthy, then the beautiful thing about it, as a mom, you're able to pour health into the heart of your kids. You know what? If your dog likes you, Coda came up just in time. Everybody's like, Joe, how you doing? And I'm like, I'm doing fine. My dog likes me. My wife likes me, I think, most of the time at least. But yeah, moms, thanks. It's great to fellowship with you this morning.